From yesterday's conversation, it sounded like you put so little value to circumstantial evidence that no matter how much is presented, it will never add up to equal a preponderance of evidence. This is the issue that I have, my dude, and I don't have a snappy one-liner to convince you of this, and it's very hard. I don't know how to this is just it's like a critical thinking thing, and you either get it or you don't, and I don't have a good way to make you understand. If I walk into a room and there's a body here, there's a person here, they're holding a knife, and there's a pool of blood. There's so little variables here that it's very quick and very easy for me to put together a story for, I walk into the room and I see these people and I go, oh, this guy stabbed this guy. It's super easy. There's very few variables, very little going on. I can see what happened, right? But as soon as I add another person here, well, now it gets more complicated, right? Now there's just adding one more person. Maybe this guy tried to jump him and he defended him. Maybe he tried to kill him and he took the knife and he killed him instead. Now there's a lot more stuff that could be going on, right? I could add another person and another body. The problem is that what happens in life is sometimes you get these stories. Really, everything in life is like this. When it comes to politics, there are millions and millions and millions and millions of different variables. There are thousands of actors involved. There are dozens of politicians, of companies. There are dozens of events. What happens is it's like looking at constellations in the sky. If we're looking for a certain story, we can probably draw any picture that we want, right? I can probably say I see a triangle here. I could probably say, no, actually, I think it's a circle. Maybe it's actually not a circle. Maybe it's a pentagram. The problem is when there are so many variables, we could really put together any story that we want. But the problem is that a human, when you hear somebody weaving a narrative on some collection of facts, the narrative is very strong. It sounds strong. It's like deepening the synapses. It's deepening the actual carvings in the wood to make it sound like it's the only thing that could have been, right? And so you'll hear some facts, and because you've been given a narrative, now you feel very strongly, holy shit, it fits. But in reality, it could just be a thing. A really good example yesterday was, remember when Biden took a picture with those billionaires? Like, this must be evidence of the meeting and blah, 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 blah. And it's like, let's just take a step back. Maybe it's just some guys were near the vice president of the United States and they wanted to take a picture, right? And I find that when it comes to this narrativizing, I don't know if that's the right word, but when you're creating these stories out of these collections of facts, you only need a couple facts to fall into this folly of very quickly thinking like, that supports that, and this supports that, and this supports that. And it's like, or maybe there's like literally a dozen explanations for every single thing here. I'm not gonna say that circumstantial evidence is nothing. For instance, a rape kit is circumstantial evidence, right? But circumstantial evidence is just good for a starting point for an investigation. When things look weird, you should investigate and then find out if something is weird. But things looking weird doesn't mean that they're weird. You have to do more homework past that.